Hello, welcome to Simcha, a celebration of life. I'm your host, Nikki Wallman. South African-born photographic artist Jenny Altschuller acknowledges that she affects and is affected by every photographed moment. Producing images with a strong sense of emotion, one is drawn to Jenny's psychological and spiritual state, as well as those of her subjects.
I have something inside me that really wants to affect people towards bettering something, or to take their challenges and be creative about it. So I love giving, but I want to affect people without taking them there. I want to add something and then for them to carry it on with using some element that I've inputted. I see that as being one of the fundamental precepts about Judaism, about giving, about linking with other Jews and with the world, about being aware of charity, a consideration, and giving what is needed, and also being open to hearing what is needed. So even in photography and teaching and mentoring, it is about being sensitive to where you can input and make a difference. Music has been a very important element in my life and my family's life. And music, the rhythm, the feeling of it changing your spirit is hugely important to me. In fact, I do feel that everything in life is about rhythm. The ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, the dark spaces and the light spaces. It's all about rhythm. And photography is one of those. Photography is all about rhythm. It's light is a wave, the darkness is the range of tones, they resonate on different rhythms, and the focuses of an image, how you get people to focus into where you want them to look in an image, and the story that you tell is all about how you place your rhythms in the visual elements of art. And so rhythm is very important because the way that you place your rhythm, which is something that is louder or softer, resonates to your viewer in an image. And this is important for your voice, your visual voice. Although people enjoy to define and confine one to a certain speciality, I really writhe when someone tries to box me into either documentary photography or being an artist. I think that on many layers, I'd like for the images to be working on an intuitive level, for people to be moved by images. And so social documentary has been a big draw card for me. And I see myself in that sphere as a street photographer, someone who meets the unknown people, someone who meets not the famous people, anybody on the road, who then becomes a symbol of many. So there's Jenny Altschuller, the social documenter, yes, the portraitist of the unknown, the portraitist of the general South African. But there's also Jenny Altschuller, the family person, and I'm very interested in the family album and the extended family album, so that the community, the shul community, the synagogue community, also is part of that family album. And I have a large archive of Jewish festival experiences and Jews, but just being normal human beings as well as enjoying their culture. Then again, the family album as not the commercial the commercial lie of everything is fine and it's all smiles and social events. I'm very interested in decontextualizing the normal family album into looking at really what are the memories, the memoirs of a family. So my new body of work looks at that, looks beyond those weddings and bar mitzvahs and birthdays to sometimes the pain and the wounds and the death, mortality, and how do we remember our forefathers and our grandparents, and how do we actually begin to memorialize them and honor them even before they've passed away, because you can't photograph them once they're dead. And it sounds morbid when one looks at it, you know, from the other angle that people normally only photograph happiness. But for me, it's not at all morbid. It's about change, it's about continuation, it's about the love and the links and the pain and the sorrow, because without pain and sorrow, happiness cannot be exquisite. And life is exquisite, and the visual of life is exquisite, the way the light falls on my father's wrinkles. And so my family is obviously, as any human being is filled with examples of every family.
Family has always played a vital role in Jenny Altschuller's life, and it's through these relationships that she's been able to understand herself and her spirituality.
When my mom passed away, my dad could not get on his feet for quite a few months, and although we were already close, I somehow became a very important link for him to the rest of the world. And I must say that vice versa. I don't see it as that I'm helping him. He has been an important element in my life. He is, and so is my daughter, and so is my son, but all three of them are objects of fascination because they are examples of divinity. I can never believe that I made two amazing children, and this link with my father, it's something that I understand because it's obviously there all the time, but it's about the magic of life, this link and continuation from my parents to me, to my children. So I am fascinated just by the fact that they came out of me and that I'm an excerpt of my father, and what they are, the flesh, the soul, the emotions, the matter, the non-concrete and the concrete matter of who they are. And so, because photography is my vessel of exploring my fascination, I photograph them all the time. I've been there through his operations. I photographed in the theatre, and that is quite connected to me being also a medical photographer, and it was an amazing experience. And so photographing through that, one or two images I would use from that, and then other images where he's praying, and his real relationship with God inspires me. Throughout all ups and downs of life, photography has kept me going, and photography for me is very much about spiritual cognizance, because a lot of things you can't see, and you can only photograph the concrete, that you can only photograph material matter, but you can suggest that there's sorrow, you can suggest that there's love, but you can't photograph that. And that's the same with God. You can't see God, but you can allude, or the things that happen with you allude to the presence in a very real way for me. I do have a very personal relationship with God. And although I'm not the most traditional Orthodox person that I know, the Orthodox customs and the Orthodox beliefs, a lot of them resonate very well for me. I believe very much in one God, and that God is there for you and aware of you, and that your input and your connection counts a lot. And I think and hope that I bring that over with my children, to my children. And photography is very much about that for me. It's a symbol for me of the non-concrete, the soul, and the body.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining us. And we'd love to hear from you, so please find us on Facebook at Spirit Sister Productions Network. As always, from me, Nikki, and the entire team, shalom and have a safe and peaceful week.